Hi, on our screen today we have the question that says what value of the constant c would make the quadratic equation below a perfect square? The quadratic equation they provided is 4y squared minus 20y plus c is equal to 0. Now they are now asking us what would be the value of c that will make this quadratic equation to become a perfect square. Like I told you, when they are now looking for the missing constant, that we have two methods. And what are the methods? The first method is the one coming from the completing the square method. From what we do in completing the square method, that's the first method. Now the second method is what I call the Kosi's method. A very nice method that we all have to learn. We all have to learn it. Now, in this case, I'll be using the Kosi's method first. Then, lastly, I'll use the first method. But don't forget that the first method from my previous video comes from completing the square method, and the steps are just 3 in number. The steps are just how many in number? 3. So this method says what? Identify b. The next one, half b. Then lastly, it says that we should square the result. That's what it says. Does it make sense? Squaring the result. Very good. Now, in the Kosi's method, we say that this is a reversal process of what we do in trying to find whether a quadratic equation is a perfect square or not. And if you watch my previous video on this, the first thing I do in the Kosi's method is when you bring the middle term, you divide it by 2. That's when I bring minus 20 y, the middle term, when I divide it by 2, it will give me minus 10y. Then I will now ask myself, how was this minus 10y gotten? They got the minus 10y by doing square root of the first term times square root of the last term. Square root of the first term says 4y squared times square root of the last term, c, would give me the minus 10y. I hope you go and watch the previous video before this. You really understand what I'm saying. Now, square root of 4y squared is 2y times square root of what? C is equals minus 10y. So when I divide both sides by 2y, all over 2y cancels 2y. So y cancels y. 2 divided itself 1. 2 divided 10 is 5. So I'm having that square root of c is equals to minus 5. Square root of c is equals to minus 5. So what will I do here? I'll square both sides to remove this square root. This square cancels square root. So I'm having that c is equals minus 5 all squared. Minus 5 times minus 5 is 25. So it means that the value of c would definitely be what? 25 for this quadratic equation to become a perfect square. Meaning that the quadratic equation will exist in the form 4y squared minus 20y plus 25 is equals what? 0. Does it make sense? Very good. And this is correct. The value of c would definitely be 25. Now, using the first method, which says identify b. Now, what is the b here? My b is actually complete, is actually minus what? 20, right? But wait. Let's wait. This method cannot be correct if the coefficient of y squared is not unity. You must make the coefficient of y squared to be what? Unity here, to be unified, before you can say that, before you can start doing this, because this thing is actually coming from completing the square method. Before you identify being completing the square, you must make sure that the coefficient of x squared or y squared is unity. That's make it 1. Making the coefficient of y squared to be unity here, that it means dividing all through by what? 4 over 4 all over 4. So 4y squared over 4 will give me y squared minus 20y over 4 will give me minus 5y plus what? C over 4 is equals what? 0 divided by 4, 0. So have you seen that the coefficient of y squared is unity? It is 1 here. Very good. Now let's start. Identify b. Now what is the b here? My b is equals what? Minus what? 5, right? Very good. Now half b. Halving b means dividing minus 5 by 2 all over 2. When I divide it, it will give me minus 5 over 2. Very good. Then squaring the result. Minus 5 over 2, all what? Squared. Will definitely give me what? Minus 5 squared is 25. all over 2 squared is what? 4, right? The answer is what? 25 all over 4. It means that the constant will definitely be 25 over 4. Now in the constant, I'm having c over 4. It means that c over 4 is equals to 25 all over 4. Does it make sense? So if you look at this, I have, if I cross multiply, c times 4 is 4c is equals 25 what times 4. That's 25 times what? 4. Divide both sides by 4 over 4. Cancel, cancel. C is equals to 4 divided 4, 1. So C is equals to what? 25. And that's the answer. Are they the same answer? Yes. Just know that in the first method, it can only work if the coefficient of the first term, that's the one bearing square, is unity. It must be unified. It must be 1. Being unity means 1. Make the coefficient of that y squared or s squared or p squared or h squared to be what? 1. Before this method can work. Had it been I did not do it like this, I would have failed it. I wouldn't get 25. I'll be getting something different. Does it make sense? I hope you understand. Then the Kosi's method will now explain to you that in the reverse process, or the straightforward process of proving that a quadratic equation is a perfect square. I hope you understand. Please, I've done everything on perfect squares. Try as much as possible to go through all of them. Have a nice day. Like, comment, share, and follow Kosi's Academy. Bye bye.